the 30. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Open man is Osborne. He's got it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. From the gun, here's Cousins.
That's complete to K.J. Osborne.
Give him 18 yards on that one. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. 3rd and short, so didn't need much, but got a little extra on the backside. Nice run.
Chewed up the yardage, didn't he? To me, that was offensive line with leverage, good blocking angles, taking on a stacked defensive front. And once they chopped that little hole in the beginning, he took it and rambled.
And just the 3rd play from scrimmage, wanted to avoid the 3-and-out and did just that. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Cousins to throw it. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Our game here, the Vikings and Eagles, the 2nd of 2 on this Monday night. The Titans and Bills kicked off a little over an hour ago up in Buffalo. This, our only Monday night doubleheader of the season, but rumor is might have a few more for 2023.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down. Back to the ground, Cook. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 23. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers are getting involved as this game goes on.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Cousins. He'll dump this off to Cook. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. No doubt, a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Another run with Sanders. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. From the 41, Hurts. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
We're scoreless after 1. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up.
Let's go now.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains. The Eagles had 0-1 in the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Hurts. That swung out wide to Sanders. And he'll get nothing out of that one. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. Here's Hurts to throw. And this is caught. It's Brown. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense, because they forced a 3rd down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively, and then they got hit with that big play.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown. Jalen Hurts, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense, rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, they're...
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked up by James Bradbury.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are, positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Throwing is Hurts.
He will find Smith in the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Eagles have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2, and they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
A reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time. We'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. He'll have a look back at the next-gen stats from this first half of action.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Boy, a pair of big plays here. This one going for 29.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Open man, once again, it's Thielen.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Cousins on 1st down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 41. Now, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
They go play action with Hurts.
On the move to his left. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll try to run with Sanders. And he's in for the Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles would extend their lead here just before halftime. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Nwangu now from his end zone.
And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it. Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Final play of the half, Cousins.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway.
Well, this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll go again with Sanders. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 69 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It was Danielle Hunter to make the play in the backfield.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Hurts. This is caught at the 20. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 33 yards that time. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. The stop made there by Chandon Sullivan.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. 2nd down, back to Sanders. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That'll back them up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And they'll accept that penalty. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Hurts. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown Eagles. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Eagles take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So, Charles, the bad taste from that opening week loss, that's just a memory now. This has been a very strong performance as they score once again.
Yeah, I know it's only week 2, but you're exactly right because this team felt like they let one get away in the opener. And not only were they determined to not let the same thing happen here, they knew that they had to correct a bunch of things. So everything went wrong in game 1. They took care of business with it in game 2.
Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And this will be a Vikings first down as he'll get this up to about the 42. A first down throw for Cousins. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball through, and it's second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. The big play, not a whole lot, has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there, still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Another run here with Sanders. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
87 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A give running left. It's Sanders. And a short gain down to about the 33. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
2nd down, here's an option right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
All right, I don't want to get too poetic here, really. Talk about, the eyes being the windows of the soul. You know what else the eyes do? They see the open spaces on a field, and those eyes carry your legs to those spots. And that's what happened on that play. He saw an opening and went and got it.
But he really hasn't ran the ball all game. 4th quarter here, need a big play, able to pick it up. So whatever the eyes saw and created, it worked. They'll run with Sanders. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. An option handoff given to Sanders. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. They'll try to run with Sanders. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here we go.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th and goal as they look to finish this one off.
Come on, come on.
And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. To throw is Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Cassie. One last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate, but I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration. A shutout, that's something to be cherished.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 and 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
2nd down, back to Sanders. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
But the absolute pitch is shut out, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down.
I'm the best, I'm the best, and I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get my go, get my go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold. I'm the best, I'm the best, and I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get my go, get my go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold. For the park and they know I'm impressive. He wanna talk, but he not on the stairs. I ain't taking a from my boy heavy. I'm the best and you heard what I said. Spend all the money, I'm dripping, it's falling. Got on it, then it's dripping like water. Teaching that, but I don't have a daughter. I know me, I can pick up when I call it. Working big and it don't hurt to break, cause I'ma always do it how I wanna do it. Every time he lead a know it, Mr. Know I got him running to it. I'ma need to pull the mail before we talk it that I'm waking up and thumbing through it. Run a like a runner do it. Stun on her till I can stun and do it. I'm the best. they make the channel froze. I'm really who the panel chose. Put my name up like a banner boat. Acting tough and I'ma let her go. Name her who got a better flow, but she can hang it up just like a telephone. Sticking up with the cost 10K to let it come see it. Hands down here, make it come treat it. Spin, make it come beat it. I want the new in the machine out. Jewelry be called like the temperature zero. I'm the hardest, they call me the hero. Heavenly, then they know what I be on. I'm the best, I'm the best.